Pictures around like an ocean in my head. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that it's not reality. If you are echoing around inside these parallel dimensions all alone, know I'll find you in my dreams. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that it's not reality. Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only
God that the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but DC where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. And for quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business. Now I got the ball like like Harry Potter playing Quidditch, and my business is humongous. You would think that heaven's in it. Damn man, I'm all that, yeah, I'm all that. Looking for that whip, yeah, that what you call that. I'ma blow up in the summer, have him yelling fall back. And I've always been ahead like an effing ball cap. Man, I came in the game like whoa. Got a couple chains on me cause I like gold. They told me I'm the best and I told them I know. Cause when I'm in your town, every ticket I sold. Yeah, they saying I'm the man. Facts, bro. Lot of haters, tell me where they at though. I'm the new pop, all I do is rap though. Want me on your song, throw a couple stacks, yo. Everybody wanna do the same thing, yo. That's why we ain't on the same page. Do my own thing, and I maintain. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream.
Green light, go, go, go.
Audio check 1 2 3. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Motive Racing YouTube channel for our Sunday night GT3 special. A double header from now on until for the foreseeable future, with the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 leagues now being separate here at Motive Racing. We're at the Temple of Speed. We're at Monza for what is sure to be one of the most exciting races of the season. It's the opening round of the season. It's almost a tradition now, really, that we start the season at Monza. We've done this a few times, and as you may recognise, my name's Andy, and I'm joined in the commentary box by myself and nobody else at the moment. And we're a minute into this qualifying session here. We've got 13 drivers out on the track at the moment. We're expecting a couple more to jump in before the end of the session. We've got the PlayStation 5 guys out on track after this as well. We're expecting between a 20 and 25 car grid for that one, so that is going to be absolutely spectacular. But as we said, we've got these drivers out on track right now in front of us, and we're expecting last season's runner-up in the championship, Rocco, to jump in, and hopefully SMT Zaloba as well as a couple of others. But I want to say a big warm welcome to everybody watching right now. If you're a friend, family member, or otherwise associate of any of the drivers out on the track here tonight, be sure to let us know who you are, who you're supporting, who you think is going to take the W here in the opening race of the season. Monza is always one of the tracks that really does throw up a few exciting moments here. One driver that I know is pretty good around here, Cheese Monkey, managed to wring the neck of a Ginetta in the GT4 Championship all the way up into 5th place from a back of the grid start last season, actually, for the season opener. He's a man who's a 2-time champion of the GT4s here at Motive. Also did a spectacular job on Wednesday night in the GT3 class of the PS4 multi-class here. So he definitely certainly knows how to get the best out of his car. He's currently driving in the Porsche for this one. Not a regular driver for this series, I hasten to add. He's not going to be here every single time, but he wants to be here when he can, and it's good to have Cheese Monkey out on the track as always. Got Ryan Ruby also out there at the moment, one of the regulars here at Motive. Raced in the GT4s last season, races in the GT4 class of the multi-class series on a Wednesday night as well. He's just starting a lap at the moment. Good to see Ryan joining us on our Sunday night show. We've got Luck Morato, the reigning champion of the GT3 division here at Motive. Big news here, returning to us for another season on the PlayStation 4 platform. His rival for last season's title, Rocco, not here at the moment. Very strange, not sure why, to be perfectly honest with you. Hopefully he gets himself in before the end of the qualifying session, as that clock is ticking. But Loke Marato, can you defend his GT3 crown for this season? That's the big question, with plenty of very, very solid challenges. I'm sure that Cheese Monkey Ryan are going to be up there, also many others, but we're going to go through them all. We've got BG Moses making his debut here tonight at Motive. Let's flick to him. Here he is, just coming through the parabolic at the moment in the number 67 Nissan GTR. BG Moses has been in the Discord server quite a bit over the last few days, and good to see him currently out there at the moment making his debut. Be interesting to see how he gets on first time out on track. What about Recco Vantage out there at the moment? Made his debut towards the end of last season. Did Recco Vantage and put on a good show in the races that we've seen him in. Also raced on Wednesday night as well for the multi-class series. Nilsson, veteran of Motive, the longest serving driver I think out there at the moment. The longest serving driver I think racing tonight, full stop. We're set to about 40 drivers racing on the channel tonight, and out of all of them, Nilsson is the longest serving here. He's been with us since season 1, would you believe, of ACC at Motive. That is now a very long time ago, about 18 months ago now. So, you know, a lot changes in 18 months. Basically, the world, the ways of the world, everything to do with the world is basically completely different from how it would be 18 months prior. So, you know, a lot changes in 18 months, that is for sure. And a lot changes in 1 month for me, but 18 months, that is a long time ago. And we've got Nilsson just starting a lap at the moment. In fact, he's just finishing a lap there. He's gone P6 with that lap. But yeah, Nilsson's been with us for what seems like many, many years now. It's not actually many, many years. It's a year and a half. But nonetheless, big shout out to Nilsson here. MTL Bloodshot has just gone P1 in this session. Was quickest in a practice session a few moments ago, and is continuing that trend at the moment. Ryan's currently sat in second place at this point in the run DJC colours. You got Luck Morato at the moment currently in third place. You got Edis on his debut here in fourth place at this point. It's just been pushed down a position actually by Jay Pilotto, who's gone P3 so far in this session. We've just got a couple of other guys jumping in the session. We've got SMT Zaloba and Rocco now joining us, which is good to see. So we've got 15 drivers out on the grid. I think we're expecting 1 or 2 more drivers in, so hopefully we get those in and we can get to around a 16 or 17 car grid. That would be absolutely fantastic for the PlayStation 4 platform. Obviously we're missing. There are a few drivers who had to hand in their apologies tonight. We know that Game for Life couldn't make it, unfortunately joined us towards the end of last season for these GT3s. Also couldn't join us was Just Dons, couldn't race, and neither could ERS. I can't pronounce his name. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's going to be a real pain actually when he's here, because I don't know how to say his name. ERS something or other. Who's meant to be driving the number 54 Lamborghini, not here either. But yeah, those 3 guys unable to make it unfortunately tonight. We are expecting 1 more driver. It says here we're supposed to have 16 cars on the track tonight, so I'm just not 100% sure who it is. I believe it's the number 20 Ferrari, but figuring out who that is going to be a whole another ball game. But I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of it nonetheless. But in the meantime, Recco Vantage has gone into P2 ahead of Ryan Ruby. Very, very close between those two, but Recco Vantage just about pipping him to that P2 for the time being, and provisionally joining MTL Bloodshot on the front row of the grid, but early doors yet. We've got Woody in the comments says, hello, evening guys, says Sim League Pro, just going to walk the dogs and I'll be back to watch. Also a big shout out to Sim League Pro, because they are the website that facilitate us being able to run our league so efficiently and easily. simleaguepro.com. If you guys have a racing league of your own, or you want to join Motive Racing, then make sure you, well, first of all, go to motiveracing.com, but then click the sign up link. It will redirect you to SLP, and that will be where you can actually sign up to the league so easily. You can check out the standings, you can see everything to do with the league, the calendar, your fellow drivers, you can check out all the stuff. So you can, yeah, it's absolutely great. It's a fantastic website. And if you do run a league of your own, so you want to get yourself on the map, certainly use their website to facilitate it, because there's some fantastic resources on there where they will set it up all for you. They'll be able to put your calendar, your driver list, all your regulations and stuff. It'll be tailor-made exactly how you need it. And the Lazy Camel, I believe that is on the SLP account at the moment, just chiming in on the YouTube stream. Guys, check it out. And as I say, if you want to join the Motive Leagues, it could not be easier to do with the help of SLP. Fantastic stuff they're doing there. Woody says, has your PS5 arrived yet to commentate later today? Yes, it has. It has indeed, Woody. Little bit of a snag, and that is that we will be having to run. I don't know what to do. Right, I'm going to ask the drivers. You tell me what you think would be better. I'm torn as to whether to go on the bonnet cams or the cockpit cams. The reason for that is that the spectator mode is a little bit bugged at the moment. The trackside camera isn't really a thing, so you have to flick between onboard cameras. I'm kind of like torn, because I think that cockpit view would be immersive, but maybe isn't going to give you the best idea on the stream of what's going on. So I'm kind of torn as to whether or not to go for cockpit cam or bonnet cam. But it's a bit of a pain flicking between cameras, so I kind of want to stick with one camera and then just, you know, pick out the best bits of the action with the drivers that are involved in the action. But yeah, if you could let me know your opinion on it, and if we can ask around, find out what the general consensus is on that one, because I know for a fact that you can't go on the trackside cameras, but I would like to be able to stream it nonetheless, and we'll be streaming it from the onboard cameras of the drivers. We're just not sure which onboard camera to go with at this point. But right now, anyway, back to the action here for the PlayStation 4 drivers. We've got only 5 minutes left to go, so this qualifying session is really passing us by quickly. MTL Bloodshot still in provisional pole position. Commentators has got a little bit closer though. Look at that, only 0.6 of a second now separating the top two in this leaderboard. You've got J Pilotto currently sat in 3rd place at the moment, 0.6 off of the fastest time. You've got the reigning champ Luck Morato just coming out of Ascari and up towards Parabolica here, 0.9 off of the pole time as Cheese Monkey there goes into P2. So Cheese Monkey, lovely lap there, gets himself very close to the pole time, and Cheese Monkey always seems to improve towards the end of the session as well. So the times are coming in thick and fast now, and can Cheese Monkey get himself that a little bit closer? Cheese Monkey obviously took the opening round of the multi-class series on Wednesday night. We had the opening round of the season at Brands Hatch, and he took the GT3 class win. Big contender for the overall win in that one as well as Cheese Monkey. He's always been a bit of a star on a Wednesday night. 2-time champion of the GT4 division here on the PlayStation 4 platform. So Cheese Monkey knows what it takes to take titles. He knows what it takes to fight it out at the top. So we'll have to wait and see what he can do tonight. Ryan's just gone into P2 as well. Ryan Ruby, big shout out there. Fantastic lap in the number 44 AMG. And Ryan now within striking distance of MTL Bloodshot's coming to the pits, so I assume he's going to be siphoning that fuel down a little bit, maximising that car, priming it for another attempt at maybe going pole position here, but he's got 2 tenths to find. As we said, Car Meta coming through Lesmo 1 at the moment, 4th place in this session, 6 tenths off of the pole time. You've got Luck Morato out there at the moment in 5th place. J Pilato coming up towards the line. What can he do? Can't improve for the time being, stays in P6. Reco Vantage up towards the line. What can he do? He comes over now, stays P7. SMT Zaloba out there at the moment in 8th place on this leaderboard. You've got Ediz in 9th place. Nilsson, oh no, somebody's gone off there. That is actually Ediz himself there, parked up on the speed bumps, just coming through the first chicane. You got Nilsson there coming through the second chicane, the Della Roja chicane. He's just clipped that curve a little bit more than he would have liked to there. Orange Rally is P11 at the moment, just over 2 seconds off of the provisional pole time. You've got PS Vids just behind Orange Rally there in 12th place. BG Moses is just coming through Lesmo 1 at the moment in P13 in this session. You've got Awesome Gumball in 14th place, still yet to set a lap time in this session, but I'm sure he's going to be up there or thereabouts. Rocco in P15, last season's runner-up in the championship. It went down to the wire between Luck Morato and Rocco last season. It was such a great battle between those two all the way up until the final few laps of the race, where Rocco unfortunately ended up just getting disqualified from the race due to accidentally driving the wrong way down the track. But nonetheless, I think that like Morato had it done before that, and Rocco was really pushing a bit too hard, which caused a mistake, which caused him to end up, I think, going the wrong way down the track. But because he had to rejoin the track and ended up going the wrong way. But it was it was a great battle between those two throughout the season. I'm just noticing my timing board here. Awesome Gumball has gone pole position, so Awesome Gumball up by 0.05 of a second, goes to the top of the leaderboard with his first flying lap of the session. That is absolutely fantastic there from Awesome Gumball. And Awesome Gumball, a driver who, you know, went under the radar a little bit last season, wasn't really somebody who was up there fighting consistently for wins or podiums or anything, and suddenly he's looking really, really strong here. So he's clearly done a bit of work over the course of the pre-season. He's got himself, primed for a tilt at a championship, maybe. But Awesome Gumball in the number 15 Ferrari looking extremely good here. And maybe Monza's a bit of a strong track for him. Who knows? Maybe he's just improved across the board in general here on ACC, but he's now doing a fantastic job here so far. 300ths of a second is his gap. MTL Bloodshot did actually improve his lap by a tiny little fraction, by about 200ths of a second, and got a little bit closer to Awesome Gumball, but not by enough. But it's very, very close in this qualifying session, and MTL Bloodshot doesn't need to improve by much to go on provisional pole position here, and indeed the overall pole position, because we're getting to that sort of stage now in the session. Ryan Ruby's currently got some traffic here as he's coming through Lesmo 1. I think that's BG Moses there, just in front of Ryan, and BG Moses obviously on a flying lap himself, under no obligation to move out of the way. But Ryan, I think, a bit frustrated there, just pushed him off. I don't know if he pushed him. I was kind of just glancing at the computer there. I just saw BG Moses on the gravel, so I'm not 100% sure what's gone off there then. But Ryan on his way down towards the Ascari chicane. We'll get another lap in after this, so if he got a bit compromised there down to that moment with Moses, it's not sure. Oh no, Ryan's lost it. Ryan's in the barriers. That's going to be damaged on the right hand side of that car. That's Ryan in the pits, and that's going to be his session done. So it's going to be P3 at best for Ryan. What a shame there, but P3, well, he's certainly not going to be too disappointed with that one, I wouldn't imagine, but not quite what he might have been able to deliver there. But nonetheless, MTL Bloodshot coming down towards the parabolic. You got Luck Morato also out there on a lap on his final run of the session. J Palotto just behind MTL Bloodshot, as MTL will be the next driver over the line. Out of the parabolic he comes. He's got 300ths of a second to find. He will get another lap in after this. This is not the be-all end-all here for MTL Bloodshot. Here he comes. As that was a hiccup up towards the line. MTL Bloodshot doesn't improve, stays in P2. J Palotto up towards the line, 4/10 to find. Can he do it? Nope, stays in P5 for now then. Cheese Monkey in the pits, so he's going to be P6 at best. J Palotto has got another lap in here in this session. Recco Vantage just got over the line to do another lap. Rocco out there at the moment, as his SMTs all over. Orange Rally's done for the session. Ediz, final run of the session. Nilsson out there coming through Lesmo 1. Let's watch Ediz here as he's coming out onto the start-finish straight. What can Ediz put on the board? He comes up towards the line now, and it is P12. Doesn't improve there. So next driver over the line will be SMT Zaloba. He's just coming out of Ascari. We know that SMT Zaloba's quick here at Monza. We've seen him race before. 1.6 seconds to find, a little way off of the provisional pole time. In towards the parabolic he comes. Can he get this right? Onto the brakes he comes now, and now onto the power, hugging that inside curve, trying to take a tight radius, getting onto the power as soon as he possibly can. Here comes SMT Zaloba. Can he get himself further up with that top 10? Here he comes over the line, and he does improve up to P4 there. So SMT Zaloba, great lap at the end. MTL Bloodshot coming out of Ascari now. Rocco will be the next driver over the line, the runner-up from last season's championship here. Onto the power. Can Rocco get himself further up that top 10? Currently sat in that final top 10 spot, as we've got another driver joining the session here. But Rocco up towards the line and goes P3. So they're all improving at the end. The Lexus is going to be quicker around Monza. We know that for sure. So lovely lap. MTL Bloodshot, I think, in the pits and not going to improve. Luck Morato likewise. A video gamer joining the session right at the end of the session here. That's good to see. So we're going to have 16 drivers on the grid. But Awesome Gumball, big shout out here. Turn up for the books. Taking it, I believe is his first pole position here at Motive. Saying in the comments, did not expect to go that fast. The Bentley has one more chance to retake pole. Yes, says Awesome Gumball. Omer there in the comments. I don't understand that one. I might have pole here, says Awesome Gumball. You do have pole. That is P1 there, Awesome Gumball. Well done. Congratulations on your first pole position at Motive. Can you convert that to a win? We'll have to wait and see. But it's Awesome Gumball on pole position by 300ths of a second ahead of MTL Bloodshot. Rocco and Ryan Ruby will be lining up on the second row with SMT Zaloba. A great lap there at the end from him in 5th place. Luck Morato, the reigning champion, will start this season in 6th place on the grid. J Palotto 7th. Cheese Monkey will be disappointed. Got pushed down the order a little bit. It's a very close qualifying session indeed here. Half a second separating the top 8. 7/10 separating the top 9. Calm Mate also not far off here. But it's going to be a very tight slipstream battle here at Monza. I know that for a fact. You can tell already just looking at that leaderboard. It's going to be very, very close. Recco Vantage P10, Orange Rally in 11th with Ediz Olcombe lining up on the 6th row alongside him in 12th place. Nilsson in 13th, followed by PS Fids in 14th. Then we're going to have BG Moses in 15th place, followed by Rocco in... No, that's not... No. Rocco's in 3rd place. So ignore BG the duplicate BG Moses and the additional Rocco there. There's actually 16 drivers on the grid, and Video Gamer will be lining up in 16th place. But that is that then for the qualifying session, ladies and gentlemen. Let us know in the comments who you think is going to win. If you're watching, if you're one of the drivers, then be sure to share this with your friends and family. If you are a friend or family member or otherwise associate of any of the drivers out on track, let us know who you're getting behind tonight. It's going to be an exciting race. It's going to be a very close one by the looks of it. As we said before, half a second separating the top 8 here. An awesome Gumball on pole position for the first time. Can he convert it? Can he keep his cool and keep it going all the way through to the checkered flag? It's going to be a 1 hour endurance race here at Monza for the PS4 drivers. Nearly a full grid, 4 short. We had 4 drivers actually say they couldn't make it tonight, so unfortunately we would have had a full grid if that hadn't happened, but you know, ifs and buts and whatnot, it's not really relevant. It's you know, it's what is. But over in the comments saying good luck. Good luck to all the drivers out on track tonight. Hopefully we can have a clean first corner. If we can get through the first corner unscathed, then it's going to bode well for the rest of it. Obviously this won't be the start. We'll have a formation lap before we get going for the start of the race, and then we'll be getting into the racing, the action proper, once that formation lap is over and done with. So 2 minutes left to go here until we get going for another season at Motive. This obviously the PS4 drivers. Stick with us later on, guys. We'll be live also for the PS5s. That will be straight after this, actually. We'll be live for the PS5s. I think the server reset's just been done for that one. We will be running on the bonnet cameras on that one. So basically, it will be like this. Oh no, hold on. Yeah, we'll be running with this view in the PS5 league, pretty much just because we don't actually have the trackside cameras available to us for that one. So this will be I don't know. I mean, it's not too bad, is it? It looks all right. I suppose it's something we can work with. Not ideal though, is it? Oh well. Never mind. 10 people watching at the moment, guys. If you like what you see, please drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Ryan Racing says P4 for Run DJC. Yep, good showing there from you, mate. And we get to see too many Run DJC commenters in the YouTube section right now. I know that they're probably watching, they're probably quietly anticipating this one and hoping that Ryan can put on a good show here in this opening round for the GT3s. Ryan, first ever race in the GT3 Championship at Motive. He's raced in the GT3 class, I think, a couple of times in the British GT Sprint Cup from last season, but this is his first appearance in the creme de la creme, the main event of the week. The GT3s on a Sunday, obviously the staple here at Motive. I think, you know, realistically, there is the jewel in the crown for the drivers on ACC here at Motive on the PlayStation. And now we've got 2 GT3 leagues, the PS4s and the PS5s will be coming up after this. But here we are then, we're just about to get going for this formation lap. The drivers will be pulling off out of their grid slots and we'll be going around at a very slow speed for the formation lap. Straight after that we'll be getting going for the season itself, for the opening round of this season. I'm getting excited now. I just want this to start. I want it to get going. I'm done with waiting. I'm done with sitting around watching them sat on the grid. I just want to see some racing. I want to see some action. I'm sure you do at home as well, watching this live on YouTube at the moment. I once again implore you, please do drop a like on the video, guys. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Join us at www.motiveracing.com. You can sign up via simleaguepro.com or Motive Racing. If you sign up via www.motiveracing.com, you get redirected to SLP's website and you can sign up to our championships. It's a fantastic interface for being able to run championships and join racing championships as well. We at Motive here run all of our leagues, barring our Formula 1 league, on SLP, and the only reason why we're not running our Formula 1 championship on there at the moment is just simply down to the fact that we've already started the season and we're basically halfway through the season. If it wasn't for that, we would be also running that championship on there as well. simleaguepro.com is where we run all of our leagues. We're in association with them. Simleague Pro in the comments earlier on in the stream, hopefully they're watching. If they're not, then they will be at some point. The Lazy Camel, the main man over there. But yeah, absolutely fantastic stuff. If you're a racing league owner, if you want to get your racing league on the map, they can definitely facilitate that. They can give you the tools, the resources, they can sort all that stuff out for you. Just tell them what you need and they can sort that out for you. We here at Motive have started using it very recently and I was really, really excited, and I was surprised, to be honest, at how neat the website is and how easy it is to use and how much of it they're prepared to actually do for you as well. So yeah, definitely check out simleaguepro.com. Auto Butcher says cheese mid pack is not great. Good luck, everyone. It's not too bad, to be fair. It's what is he P? I think he got pushed down to P8 in the end, didn't he? He did get pushed down quite a bit, but P8, it's not too bad. It could be a lot worse. It is mid-pack, but you know, if it was a 20-car grid, you'd be thinking P8's up towards the front, wouldn't you? So I suppose he can definitely do some damage from there. He's in a car which is not too bad down the straights. The Porsche not the best, but certainly not the worst. Certainly not on the level that the Merc would be. I'd say that he's probably got the a bit of a bad luck in terms of what car he's been in over the last week, because at Brands, being in the Merc, you know, probably not. Or was he in the Porsche? I can't remember, you know. Actually, he might have been in the Porsche at Brands Hatch. I know he's driven the Merc before. I'm used to seeing Cheese Monkey in a Merc in the GT3. I don't know. I could be absolutely, completely and utterly wrong with that one. Nonetheless, we're riding on the bonnet cam with Video Gamer right now. Now, as soon as we get towards the line, we will switch to the trackside view. Well, actually, having said that, we might as well get used to this one, because we're going to be using it for the PS5s later. But yeah, he's just having to speed up a little bit here. But here we go. We're lining up. We're going to go double file coming into the Parabolica, and then once we come around this last corner, we come up towards the line, and it will be down to the leader. Everybody will slow up to 50 miles an hour, then you gradually increase the tempo up to 70 miles an hour before you get to the line, and then it will be green, 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 and whoever gets the best bite will have a massive advantage. It's a very long run down towards turn 1. 30 people watching currently at the moment here on YouTube. Thank you ever so much, guys, for tuning in and checking out the PS4 drivers for the first time here for the GT3s here on a Sunday night at Motive, the main event of the week, the one we all look forward to, and this is what we've all been waiting for. Who is going to get off on the right foot? Awesome Gumball, his first pole position ever at Motive, taking it by just 0.03 of a second. What a close qualifying session we had a few moments ago. We are green, green, green now. We are racing here. Awesome Gumball does get slightly out-reacted there by MTL Bloodshot. Down towards turn 1 we come. Rocco's going to try and come down the middle here, and he's going to make it 3 wide by the looks of it as they're coming in towards the first chicane. A little bit congested in the background. Luck Morato losing out a couple of positions there, I think, as we've got somebody going down the inside, but MTL Bloodshot holding it around the outside of Awesome Gumball. Awesome Gumball though still there, and he gets a lovely exit out of the first corner. Oh, bit of a bump between the two of them. MTL Bloodshot seems to have got a slightly better exit out of the first corner. Oh no, what's going on here? And MTL Bloodshot's round, and Awesome Gumball loses out there. So that's Rocco up into the lead of the race, but MTL Bloodshot, what happened to him there? He's gonna have to wait for everybody to come past there. He's down to the back of the pack, and Awesome Gumball is in second place just behind Rocco, but Ryan Ruby, in the lead. Ryan Ruby in P1 in this race manages to take advantage of all that carnage going on in front of him. What happened there with MTL Bloodshot and Awesome Gumball though? That is unbelievable there. I don't know what went on. Did Awesome Gumball chop him a little bit in the rear? Whatever the reason, Ryan Ruby sat there laughing right now because he's got the lead of the race by 0.3 of a second. He's pulling out a little bit of a gap here through the middle sector of the lap though. But Ryan from Awesome Gumball, from Rocco the top 3, then Luck Morato, last season's champion, ahead of Cheese Monkey, who's gained 3 positions on his first lap. You've got PS Vids there in 6th, ahead of Khan Mete. Nilsson there on the back of Khan at the moment. You've got Recco Vantage, Video Gamer there running just behind these guys, as you've got currently you've got Orange Rally looking on the back of these guys right now as well. But well, already a big talking point at the start of this race. Contact there between Awesome Gumball and MTL Bloodshot. MTL Bloodshot down to the back, as you can see Khan Mete coming under pressure from Video Gamer right now, out of Ascari and down towards the Parabolica. There's Ryan leading the race. He's already opened up a bit of a gap, and Awesome Gumball has lost it out to Rocco and Luck Morato. And Awesome Gumball's wide. He's very wide there coming through the Parabolica. Did he get a bit of damage on the front end of that car with that contact that he had with MTL Bloodshot? As we can see PS Vids losing out there to Nilsson. Nilsson down into 6th place there. You've got Video Gamer trying to go at it here with Khan Mete. As we can see Khan Mete getting a little bit wide there out of Parabolica, getting pushed out a bit by Video Gamer, and he tucks back into that slipstream now. Going to try and come back at him coming down the start finish straight. Here he is. He's going to get that closing speed, because Video Gamer's going to make the move here on PS Vids as well. And in towards turn 1 we come. PS Vids very late on the brakes, holding it on the outside of Video Gamer, gets it stopped really nicely as well. Video Gamer now might lose out to Khan Mete here, side by side coming into the chicane, the part of the track where Hamilton and Verstappen crashed, and those two navigating it absolutely perfectly. No such dramas between a Video Gamer and Khan Mete then. Ryan Ruby though out the front, coming into the De La Rocha chicane for the second time. He's got a bit of a gap here over Rocco. Ryan Ruby's going to feel like his birthday, Christmas and everything else came all at the same time, as Awesome Gumball really rattling over those curbs there, coming through the second chicane. chicane, and he seems to just be a little bit off at the moment. I don't know whether he's maybe been a little bit discontented after the collision with MTL Bloodshot. Maybe he feels a bit guilty about that moment there. Obviously it looked like he just tagged him in the rear. Whatever it is, has he got damage on the car? We'll see, but he seems to just not have really the impetus at this point that he had in the qualifying session. Ryan is driving away from the rest of them at this point. You got Rocco just ahead of Luck Morato coming under the old circuit towards the Ascari chicane, but Cheese Markey also all over the back of Luck Morato here. Looks like he just has to back out of that coming in towards Ascari. He looked like he lost a bit of ground there in the braking zone. He's making up for it on the exit though. Porsche seems to have great traction out of the slower corners, and it's got the slipstream here coming down towards the Parabolica. Cheese Monkey currently waiting in the wings, hoping to get himself into the podium spots if he can. Awesome Gumball is lost out a little bit over the leaders over this first couple of laps here. But Ryan Ruby coming out of the final corner, out of the Parabolica, and he's got a 2.3 second lead. Rocco started to reel him back in a little bit, actually, over this lap. The gap looks like it's come down ever so slightly. It's now 1.8 between the two, so Rocco slightly quicker than Ryan on that previous lap. As now Cheese Monkey's got the slipstream here on Luck Morato. Is he going to look to the inside? Luck's going to defend that inside line. He's going to take that pit exit line, and Cheese Monkey there, nowhere to go into the braking zone. Luck Morato keeping onto that one for now. Awesome Gumball there in P5. Nilsson, bit of a gap back to him in P6. You've got a Video Gamer. PS Vids there running 8th place at the moment. Mete has got Orange Rally all over the back of him here. Looks to the inside, can't get anything done. Big battle going on in the background here. You got SMT Zalova has lost out there to Ediz, and can SMT hold it around the outside here of J Pilotto? Oh, it's going to be side-by-side action here between the two of them. J Pilotto gets that move done actually on SMT Zalova. Oh no, PS Vids! What's going on, PS Vids? He was really slow there out of the first chicane. He gets tagged a little bit there as he goes into the wall, and he's now dropping it even further down the pack there. Very strange there. I don't know what he was doing. He was going nowhere fast. In the meantime, Recco Vantage has got Recco Vantage is all over the back of SMT Zalova as they both go a little bit deep into the Del Roger chicane, losing out time to J Pilotto. Ed is there putting space between himself and J Pilotto there in that battle for P10 in this race. Orange Rally is currently still in the back of Mete. These guys going at it here for 8th place in this race, but Ryan has got Rocco really reeling him in now. The gap only 1.5 between the top two at the moment, so Rocco's starting to getting to a bit of a rhythm here, and now finding his groove here in the early stages of this race. Luck Morato's got Cheese Monkey still over the back of him here, coming down towards the Parabolica. Has a little look to the inside, does Cheese Monkey. Not quite able to get anything done just there though. Awesome Gumball continuing to fall off at the back of these guys. He's now way behind, and I think he's got damage. Awesome Gumball there pulling off to the side. That is now Nilsson up into 5th place. Awesome Gumball seems to be very much limping around, and is he going to come into the pits here? This is not looking good here for Awesome Gumball at all. Is he going to come in? I think he is. Yeah, Awesome Gumball is going to come in and get some damage fixed. So the pole sitter, what a shame there for him. You've got to feel for him because he did a fantastic job in the qualifying session. I said before, can he convert his first pole to his first win? It's not looking like it at the moment though. Very unfortunate there for him, but Ryan is got Rocco now continuing to reel him in. The gap now just under a second, so Rocco definitely the fastest driver out on track at the moment. These two gapping these two, as we can see Cheese Monkey there with Luck Morato once again just defending that line, and Cheese Monkey walloping the sausage curb there in the second part of the Del Roger chicane. And for the time being, Luck Morato keeping onto that 3rd place. Cheese Monkey looking everywhere, trying to make it happen, but just can't get away past him at the moment. And Luck Morato clinging on to this final podium spot. It looked like Cheese Monkey must have been slightly ahead coming into the sector point, because it says on the timing board he was 0.02 of a second ahead, but he must have been on the outside or had the unpreferred line or something, because Luck obviously kept the position by the skin of his teeth. But we've got a Sim League Pro says, go Ryan, good to see Nilsson in P6. Go mate, Cheese will get there in the end, you know it, Auto Butcher. So obviously Sim League Pro having faith in Cheese Monkey as he's coming down towards the Parabolica here. He's still all over the back of Luck Morato. Luck Morato though has defended very impressively so far. Awesome Gumball says, I think I might have spun that Bentley. Yeah, we thought so. We thought there was contact between yourself and MTL Bloodshot on the first lap. It did look like it. I mean, there could be an inquiry coming in on that one. I don't know. I imagine he probably is going to be putting an inquiry about that, because that did look a little bit sketchy there, to be fair. But Ryan Ruby nonetheless has the lead of the race. He's got 0.8 back to Rocco. These two coming into the first corner for the 5th time in this race. Bit of a gap back to Luck. There's Cheese Monkey still on the back of Moratos. They're coming into that first chicane. You've got a big gap back to Nilsson running in 5th place at this point. Mete still got Orange Rally hassling the back of him, coming down the start finish right now. Orange Rally pulls out to the outside here, coming down towards the first chicane. He's got a breeze around him there. Mete not in any position to defend that really, and Orange Rally making that look relatively easy up into P6. Video Gamer now on the back of these two as well, looking to try and feast on these scraps if he can. But Orange Rally there making headway and starting to find a groove in this race. Ryan Ruby in the meantime still out in front, but he's got a slender lead here. Rocco's really been pushing over these last few laps. He's got a bit of work done here as Rocco on the race leader. He had obviously a bit of a head start, did Ryan Ruby. He managed to get a couple of seconds of a gap over the first couple of laps, but since then Rocco managed to get himself into P2, instant clean air, and is really hunting him down. Morato 3 seconds behind, has still got Cheese Monkey. In fact no, Cheese has done Luck. Cheese has got ahead of Luck up into 3rd place there. You can see, although the time board yet to update itself, Cheese Monkey unmistakably has got that move done, so he must have done that. I maybe out of the Den Orange chicane into the Lesmos. Potentially it was out of Lesmo 1 into Lesmo 2, but whatever the case, Cheese Monkey now into the podium spot, and now he can set his sights on Ryan and Rocco up ahead. He's now 5-6 seconds behind them. So we've got a battle for the lead here. Ryan will be defending to the inside line into the Parabolica, but can Rocco make this go round the long way here? Ryan's going to hang him out to dry there on the outside line, and that is not where you want to be at all. Coming out onto the start finish straight, you can really get loose on the marbles there. There's no grip on the outside coming to that part of the track, and Rocco's definitely found that out. He's in the slipstream though. Is he going to come back at Ryan? Here we go. He's going to have the closing speed. Ryan's going to defend to the inside line using that pit exit line to keep onto this position. Rocco's going to try and go around the outside, and he's going to try and do a bit of a Verstappen move here. Can he make it stick? He's done really well here as Rocco to keep his car there, and Ryan gives him the space on the outside, but Ryan keeps onto that by the skin of his teeth. This is brilliant racing here from these two. Ryan Ruby positioning his car in the perfect place, and Rocco could not quite make it happen, but this one's boding to be one of the most exciting battles here in this race so far, and it's for the lead of the race. These two 5 seconds clear of Cheese Monkey at the moment. Then you've got Luck still on the back of Cheese Monkey, still not giving up in this one, but these two racing very hard and fairly at this point, and this is great to see. This is what we want to see here. These two lost a bit of time to Cheese Monkey and Luck actually. Both of these two started to close in on Ryan and Rocco over that first sector there as they were battling. They were going side by side through that first chicane, and at the moment it's still Ryan defending by the skin of his teeth. Cheese Monkey in 3rd place ahead of Luck. You've got 12 seconds back to Nilsson, still running in 5th place. Orange Rally started to gap Khan a little bit. Khan actually has come under pressure here. He's got Video Gamer and Jay Polotto all over him. Jay Polotto's managed to get a move done on Video Gamer there, up into 8th place as they come into Lesmo 1. So that's Jay Polotto up a position. Video Gamer there down into 9th place. These two still on the back of Khan Mete, but Orange Rally's starting to try and break away from these guys if he can. Oh, bit of a slide there from Edis as we saw him coming through Lesmo 1 there. Not sure what was going on there. SMT Zaloba's into the pits, so has he got damage there? MTL Bloodshot, Awesome Gumball and PS Vids all been in the pits already in this race now. SMT Zaloba joins them as an impromptu early pit stopper, but yeah, I'm sure that's not going to be what the doctor would have ordered for them, but nonetheless, back to the battle for the lead. Ryan Ruby and Rocco coming out onto the start finish straight. Ryan's gained a little bit on Rocco over the course of this lap. Rocco seemed to be a little bit wide out of Parabolica, was absolutely walloping that speed bump as he got onto the power, and gave Ryan just a little bit of breathing space as they come in towards turn 1 right now. So Ryan Ruby still doing what he needs to do, still keeping it calm, not getting too stressed out, not getting any ahead of himself. He's just doing what he has to do. He managed to get a little bit of a lead at the start. Rocco's been quicker than him since about lap 2, but Ryan at the moment is just defending his position, putting his car in the right places, and he's keeping himself composed. Cheese Monkey and Luck though are gaining on these two, Ryan and Rocco, whilst they continue to battle. It's bringing Cheese and Luck both into this picture, and the reigning champion still sticking to the back of the 2-time GT4 champion at this point. These two, both champions here at Motive. Cheese Monkey, as we said before, the 2-time champion of the GT4 on a Wednesday night, also racing with us for this season in the GT3 class, for the multi-class on a Wednesday as well. Luck Morato, last season's champion of this league, of the PS4 GT3 league, looking to try and defend his title, currently running in P4 at this point. And Ryan Ruby still out the front, still holding on to this lead. Not by much though. Rocco is really giving himself something to think about. But over that middle sector there, Ryan seemed to have gained a little bit on Rocco. So Rocco maybe just had a bit of a scruffy run coming through the Lesmos, whatever it was. He's lost out ever so slightly here on Ryan through that part of the track. But it's still race on here between these two. Ryan Ruby could be on for his first win here at Motive. I've seen him before in this position. I know he had a chance at Paul Ricard in the GT3 Sprint Cup last season. He's had his moments, Ryan. He's definitely a driver who will take a win at some point. There's no doubt about it. He's got the talent and the potential to take many wins, possibly even championships here. We know that, but he needs to get that clean break. He needs to get that lucky break where it falls for him, where he's able to deliver the goods. And I think once he gets that first win, once he breaks his duck, I think they'll start to come in thick and fast. They'll come in. It'll be a free-flowing win extravaganza for Ryan, but right now he's got just under a second of a gap here to Rocco, and Cheese Monkey starting to gap luck and starting to reel these two in even more whilst, well, to be fair, I was going to say whilst they're battling, but they're not really battling anymore, Ryan and Rocco. Ryan's now started to maintain that gap a little bit to Rocco. It's not really going up, it's not really going down, it's kind of just staying around the same. As we see Rocco there getting a bit loose coming out of the De La Rocha chicane, starting to maybe push a little bit too hard. He's getting a bit frustrated. He's been in that turbulent air behind Ryan for some time now, and he can obviously see he'll be noticing on his timing board that Cheese Monkey's starting to gain on both of them very quickly here. Cheese Monkey now within a second here of Rocco, and Rocco will be very much aware of that, and he'll be wanting to get himself ahead of Ryan as soon as possible, because the longer he spends behind Ryan, the more vulnerable he becomes to the charge of Cheese Monkey, who is now very much looming large in his rearview mirrors here. Look at this. Marato also not too far behind. This could quickly become a four-way battle for this lead if Rocco doesn't get on with it, or Ryan doesn't get a hammer down pretty soon. Ryan obviously a big LH fan, you can see by the number 44, so he knows when it's hammer time you've really just got to push, you've got to go for it, but he doesn't want to get too ahead of himself at this point. He doesn't want to push too hard. He knows that this is going to be about patience and being calm and not getting too phased by what's going on behind you. He's just got to focus on what's ahead of him. He's got to put his car in the right positions. He's got to use that AMJ as a bit of a roadblock, as Rocco now looking to the outside once again. We've been in this position before. Rocco's very good on the brakes, but Ryan just taking his line and not allowing any gaps to form, and he's doing this really well at this point. And Cheese, what's happened to Cheese? Oh no, Cheese Monkey has had a moment. So he's got damage on the front of that Porsche. He's going very slowly indeed here, is Cheese Monkey. I think he's letting drivers past. He's got severe damage on the front of that Porsche. Luck's now up into third place. Did he have a crash with Luck Marato? Oh no, Cheese Monkey, Auto Butcher, are you watching? Oh, Cheese Monkey's had a big moment. Is he going to retire the car? He's pulling off to the side. He's got his hazards on there. Cheese Monkey's certainly not going anywhere very quickly at this point. Ryan, though, has got heavy pressure from Rocco as they're coming up on some lap traffic now. That is... who is that? To be honest, I don't even know. Well, I mean... Oh, well. Well... These two coming up towards the Ascari chicane nonetheless, but this is now very, very tight between these two. Luck Marato 3 seconds behind them in third place, but now Rocco in striking distance of Ryan Ruby, and without the pressure of Cheese Monkey, once again he can now focus very much on what's ahead of him and doesn't have to worry too much about this man here, who I'm sure is going to be coming into the pits this time around. Yes, he is. But that is gutting there for Cheese Monkey. The former GT4 champion at Motive is going to be kicking himself with that one. I didn't see what happened there. You guys might have seen it on the stream. I tend to look here, there and everywhere whilst I'm commentating. Sometimes I'm looking at the computer, I'm looking at the YouTube stream, so I don't see what's going on the TV. I must have just been glancing away at that moment where he's had a moment there, or maybe it wasn't in the camera shot because we were watching Ryan and Rocco at that moment. But nonetheless, Cheese Monkey into the pits here at the end of lap 9, and that's gone horribly wrong there for him. But we're watching these two still going at it. Luck Marato 2.3 behind him in third place at the moment, occupying that final podium spot. Auto Butcher says, wow, what a sicker or a stinker, I don't know. nonetheless, these two, Ryan and Rocco, coming down towards the De La Rocha chicane here for the 10th time in this race. 0.3 of a second separating them. Ryan keeping it absolutely stone cold at the moment. He's not making any mistakes. He's not slipping up in any way, shape or form. He's just keeping it cool. He's an Iceman at the helm of that AMG, that number 44. Big Lewis fan, clearly Ryan Ruby. He's currently doing a Hamilton-like performance. He's just doing his thing, and he's doing it very well. Oh no, Lux around in the background, and Lamarato there spinning it out of Lesbo 2. I think he managed to slow it down sufficiently to not get damage on the car. He just kissed the wall a little bit after he'd had the main brunt of the accident, but he's now going to lost a lot of time there. I reckon he's going to be over 10 seconds behind Ryan and Rocco. Lamarato with a massive moment there as he's now coming under the bridge. In fact, he's going to be about 15 seconds behind him, I think. There's Ryan and Rocco coming down under the bridge towards the Parabolica. There is Luck just coming through Ascari now. So Luck Marato with a huge moment there, and he's going to be way behind now. So Luck and Cheese both making mistakes here. Ryan and Rocco still battling it out here. 0.8 currently separating them as they're coming out of the last corner up towards the line now to complete lap 10. And Rocco still in hot pursuit of Ryan Ruby, but doesn't look like he's close enough really to make anything happen coming up towards the first chicane here. But the big news there, Luck Marato was in the hunt in this race kind of, and now he's just dropped himself out of it a little bit. Cheese Monkey, we saw a couple of laps ago, having some big damage. He's had to come into the pits to get that sorted out, and he's off and away once again. But Luck Marato will be kicking himself with that, just like Cheese Monkey is, I'm sure. And Ryan and Rocco still going at it. 0.4 of a second between them coming up towards the De La Rocha chicane. Sim League Pro says Nelson for a podium. Keep going, mate. At the moment, he's looking very good here for a podium. Nelson, consistency is key in a lot of the in a lot of disciplines in racing and in any sport, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's very much apt at the moment. Nelson here running in 3rd place in this race. He's got 6 seconds back to Orange Rally. Orange Rally is going to be sensing a possibility of a podium here as well, to be honest with you. Jay Polotto running 5 seconds behind Orange Rally at the moment, now in 5th place in this race. You've got Edis not too far off either. Carl Mete a little way behind. Reco Vantage still going at the moment. He's now in 8th place with the Luck Marato, sorry, has not come into the pits, so it was only a light spin, so he hasn't got a damage, so I do apologise. Nilsson is still in 4th place, but if Luck makes another mistake like that, then that could invite Nilsson in, so I do apologise. It's not Nilsson isn't in 3rd place at the moment, but who knows? I mean, if Luck needs to get this together, he needs to stop making mistakes. He needs to rein these little issues in. Scooter Paul says, evening races, nearly time for me to become a mobile chicane in the PS5 league. You're not a mobile chicane, Paul. No way. You're not. You are a very, very solid driver. You're sometimes in the mix for the podiums, and you're always at least in the mid-pack. So, you know, you're not a mobile chicane by any means. Ryan still out the front though, 0.4 his gap to Rocco into turn 1. Auto Butcher, he clipped the curb through Ascari and binned it. 1 minute 40 repair. What a shame there for Cheese Monkey. That's gone horribly wrong there. And it really is a shame. It could have been a 3, it could have been a 4-car battle for the lead, but obviously Luck and Cheese both making the mistakes. It's down to the pace that Ryan and Rocco have been setting though out the front. They were really having to push hard, I think, to gain on them. Whilst these two were battling, it was allowing Luck and Cheese both to reel them in. But I think they were just pushing a little bit too much, and unfortunately for both of them, it's cost them a little bit in this race. Luck still going in the final podium spot, as isn't really gapping Nelson. That's kind of staying around the same between those two. Maybe Luck did get a bit of damage on the car. No, actually, no. He's just gapped Nelson by a second through that sector there. Oh, Nelson cutting the chicane there. Oh, well, that one. I mean, he needs to stop doing that. If he does that too often, he'll get a track limit penalty. You get 3 warnings in the on ACC, and once you overstep those 3 warnings, you eventually get a drive-through penalty. So he'll obviously have the team on the radio saying to him, look mate, you know, you've got away with that one, but if you do it again, there could be hell to pay. So make sure that you start falling in line and obeying the rules. But at the moment, Ryan Ruby's still out the front. 1.3 is his cap here over Rocco. So Ryan's now getting into a real rhythm out the front. He's starting to gap Rocco ever so slightly. I don't know if Rocco made a mistake on that previous lap or whether Ryan has just got the hammer down. He knows he's coming towards the end of this stint. He can really push the tyres and take as much out of them as he can, because he'll know that he's going to pit in a couple of laps. The pit window will be open in just over 2 minutes, so not the next time they come round, but the time after they come round next, so 2 laps time, the pit window will be open. He's got to be able to come in, although I imagine they'll probably want to long it out until the midway point in the race. That would make the most sense, because then they can go the same distance on the second set of tyres that they go on the first set, so essentially you're splitting the race in 2. That would be what I'm sure would be the most comfortable way of doing it for these drivers, but we'll have to see what people do. Some people are going to come in and get the repairs done. If they've got a little bit of damage on the car, they'll be wanting to get it out, sorted out as soon as they can, so they can drive as much of the race as possible with having done their pit stop in the right window. They'll be wanting to drive as much of the race as possible with a fully healthy car that's been repaired and maximising its potential. And obviously in that situation you wouldn't want to wait 5 minutes, you wouldn't want to wait more, as you want to minimise the amount of time spent with a car that isn't 100%, obviously. But nonetheless, Rocco very close to the back of Ryan here, coming down towards Ascari. A little bit too far back to make the move, but Ryan looked a little bit uncomfortable through the Lesmos, and Rocco now in striking distance, definitely going to have a chance here. He'll maybe get the run coming down towards Parabolic. If he can't get a move done here, he'll definitely set himself up for a potential slingshot move coming down the start-finish straight. Here we go, Rocco to the outside. Ryan's going to have to defend this inside line. He's going to have to be wily there, as he's going to hug that inside curb, and Rocco once again, you can do absolutely nothing on the marbles out wide there, but Ryan running wide on the exit, and I tell you what, if Ryan had been a metre to the left there, that could have been a very different story. I've said before that line on the outside of Parabolica can be lethal, but gets away with it, and down towards turn 1 we come. Rocco having a look, trying to distract Ryan in the mirrors, but Ryan once again holding firm and not giving Rocco anything to go with right now. These two continuing their duel out the front. Obviously Murato running 16 seconds behind in 3rd place, very much out of this battle unless these two have a collision. We saw Cheese Monkey in the battle for the podium spots earlier on, but he made the mistake, as we said. Auto Butcher in the comments let us know that he had that moment coming through Ascari, which unfortunately gave him that damage, and he's now battling it out at the moment with what looks to be J Palotto there. So he's just unlapped himself on J Palotto as Cheese Monkey. But back to these two out the front. This is the only battle out on track, and it so happens to be for the lead. And when there's one battle out on track, you'd want it to be, you'd hope it to be, you'd ask it to be for the lead. And we've got our wish at the moment. Ryan, Rocco currently doing a great job here. These two have been going at it for a number of laps now. They kept it clean. They haven't tripped over each other. They haven't been taking advantage of the track limits either. They've just been driving really, really good races. And the pit window's now open, so is Rocco going to pull the trigger and go for the undercut here, knowing that he's possibly being held up by Ryan? And again, that could be wrong here, and I don't want to discredit Ryan. Credit where credit's due, because he's clearly got the pace, and he's good enough to be in the position he's in right now. He's not holding Rocco up, so to speak, but maybe Rocco feels like he could go quicker. Oh, he's looking to the inside here, throws a little feint to the inside. Ryan having none of it, not being put off at all, but I say that, he's run a bit wide on the exit of Parabolica. Now Rocco looking to the inside, he's going to get the run. They're going to be side by side, and he's going to try and use the side draft to make the move on him. Here we go, Rocco has just about squeezed ahead of Ryan coming down the start finish straight, but Ryan with the Mercedes AMG power is going to tuck back into the slipstream, but Rocco's got the move done here up into the lead of the race, and Ryan looking to try and come back at him, but Rocco there on the inside into turn 1 has gone a bit deep. Oh, he's gone deep. He's going to go with a speed bumps there. Ryan's surely going to get him back here, and Ryan swoops back round into the lead of the race. Rocco tried it, couldn't make it stick. It looked like he had got that move done into turn 1, but the pressure got to him a little bit, as he probably felt a little bit of relief there, having finally got that one done. And he choked a little bit there, did Rocco, to be fair. Ryan back into the lead of the race, let off the hook a little bit. Ryan, a lucky boy to still be leading this race, though, that is for sure. Luck into the pits, as is Nilsson, as is Recco. Those three coming in at the first opportunity to get their pit stops done and out of the way. But this, a great battle between these two, and Ryan and Rocco still going at it out of the front. And still nothing separating them in terms of actual pace right now. Rocco seems to have gained a little bit on Ryan since that little moment. He's already got that gap now to under 1.4. I think it's about 1.1, 1.2 now. I think again a couple of tenths at least coming through that first sector, and he's continuing to really gain on Rocco as well, on Ryan, coming down towards Ascari. But looking very much like the battle for the win is going to be pretty much between these two now from here until the end of the race. Nearly halfway through the race, Luck's out of the pits. He's got his pit stop done. Nilsson there sat in the box. Edith's still sat in the pits at this point. And obviously Recco Vantage has already been in and out of the pits and is now off and on his way once again. But here are the two leaders coming down towards the Parabolica here for the 15th time in this race. Does either of them come into the pits? Does Rocco come in? I'm sure that if Rocco's going to try and do an alternative strategy to Ryan, now's the time to do it. No, he stays out. So Rocco keeping it out on track and clearly thinks that he can get this move done on Ryan on the track. He's got to do the opposite from Ryan though. I mean, he'd be silly not to, because at the moment he's just getting held up. I say getting held up again. Ryan more than capable. Oh no, Rocco deep, and he's going to have to make sure that Ryan holds on to that one. He's going to have to get out of that. And Rocco's lost it. Rocco's got out of shape there on the exit of the first chicane onto the grass a bit. Now he's going to lose out. Cheese Monkey unlapping himself there. You saw there just coming through your shot. Rocco here is also going to be unlapped by another driver here as well. And that is MTL Bloodshot, who obviously qualified on the front row. He qualified alongside Awesome Gumball in the qualifying session. He got tagged around by Awesome Gumball on the first lap, but MTL Bloodshot there, moving himself ahead of Rocco, and Rocco now a few seconds adrift of Ryan Ruby. That's now given Ryan some breathing space here in this race. And Ryan Ruby, we said before, he's been in an opportunity where he could have taken a race win many times here at Motive in the past. This has got to be his best chance here of getting a P1. He's in a fantastic position right now to bring this one home. He's got almost a 7-second gap here to Rocco. And yeah, Ryan just needs to keep it cool here. He just needs to not make any mistakes. He's got a bit of a buffer. He needs to not get complacent, because 7 seconds though, you know, it's going to be, I'd say 17 or 18 laps left in this race, probably 18 laps left in this race. You know, 7 seconds. All Rocco needs to do is lap about 4/10 of a second a lap quicker than Ryan, and he'll get him at the end. So Ryan still needs to just stay on it, but he doesn't need to push too hard. Just needs to be consistent here. Keep doing what he's been doing for the duration of this race so far. And into the pits here comes Ryan. No surprise there. Into the pits now. Does Rocco follow suit? Yes, he does. So both of the top two into the pits. So J Pilotto, Luck Morato, Nilsson have all been in. J Pilotto has actually jumped Luck in the pits, or has he? Maybe the timing board's still yet to update there. We'll come back to that one. But Nilsson's been jumped by Luck and J Pilotto. Well, he was already behind Luck, but he's been jumped by J Pilotto, that's for sure. And yeah, sorry, Luck has held position there on J Pilotto. He's come out 5 seconds ahead of him there. So that was the timing board just taking a little bit of time to update itself there. But the two leaders both in the pits here. Does either of these two chance it and not change tyres? You managed to gain about 5 seconds in the actual pit stop itself by not changing tyres. So does Rocco maybe gamble on it and stay on these tyres and hope that they don't wear out enough to lose him a bit of time towards the end of the race? What does Ryan? Oh no, Ryan's already coming out of the pits. So Ryan is at the end of the pit lane now, and he's about to come off of the limiter here. So Ryan's got a big gap here over Rocco. Ryan there, out onto the track now. Rocco gets going, and I reckon the gap's a bit more than it was. I think that's going to be about maybe 10-12 seconds between the two of them. So Ryan has definitely had the better pit stop. Has Ryan maybe not changed tyres? Possibly Ryan has gone for a bit of a gamble and decided to stay on the same set of tyres and give himself a bit more of a cushion over Rocco. And could Rocco maybe be coming back at Ryan? Oh, somebody's out straight on. Somebody's going straight on over the chicane. Didn't see who that was. Oh, Edis has lost it. Just as we flick to him there, Edis getting it loose, coming out of Ascari. And he's had a big moment there. He's going to have damage on the front of that car for sure. So Edis, he's got Awesome Gumball all the way behind him. Awesome Gumball still yet to come in and undertake his mandatory pit stop. MTL Bloodshot coming in now to make that pit stop. Obviously, he's already been into the pits earlier on. Nice to see Ryan win. Great driver, says Auto Butcher. He is definitely one of the best, one of the most talented that we've got here at Motive. And yeah, it's been a long time coming for him. You know, he's had a good few opportunities now. He's had a few podiums. He's had chances where he could have taken wins, and it's just slipped away from him. He just needs to be careful of the track limit warnings, because I know that they can be a little bit they can be a bit pesky around Monza. Ryan needs to just keep his head and not take too many risks here. He's got a big lead at the moment over Rocco, and Rocco's got it all to do. Rocco's certainly got to chase this one. Orange Rally in the pits, the last of the top 10 to come in. PS Vid still needs to come in, as does BG Moses. These guys have now got 1 or 2 laps left to make that pit stop, so I'm sure they'll be in the next couple of minutes. But Orange Rally there in the pits. Ryan coming over the line here to complete his 17th lap of the race. And we just see somebody exiting the pits there. That is that was MTL Bloodshot there, just coming out alongside the race leader. So Ryan Ruby just ahead of MTL Bloodshot. It should be quite even on pace, I'd say, between these two, because MTL Bloodshot did qualify in second place. He obviously had the lead very early on, managed to get ahead of Awesome Gumball. Awesome Gumball with some questionable driving on that first lap, tagged MTL Bloodshot round. There could be a stewards inquiry. I wouldn't be at all surprised if MTL does put one in on that. Yeah, he'll have to pace to stick with Ryan for sure. Ryan's not going to drive away from him, but Ryan will obviously be aware that MTL is a lap down than him, so they're not fighting for position. He can relax a little bit. He just wants to hope that MTL doesn't sabotage him in any way. But Rocco there running in second place is already carved the gap down a bit to Ryan. It's come down by a couple of seconds. Has Ryan had a moment? Has he maybe got a bit distracted by the back marker of MTL? You know, is he getting distracted? Is his concentration starting to go a little bit, being out on his own out the front? See Rocco there gains another second there coming through the middle sector. Wow, Rocco is really starting to bring that gap down by quite a lot. And this is surprising here, because I would have thought that Ryan, having that impetus and that gap, would have just given him a bit more confidence, but he just doesn't seem to have it. And this is why, because MTL Bloodshot is now trying to unlap himself here, so that is going to dent Ryan's confidence a little bit. You know, he's leading the race, but at the same time he's going to be thinking to himself, well, if I can't stay ahead of this back marker, then how am I going to win this race? He goes a little bit late on the brakes there. Ryan deep into the first chicane. He's going to be cursing that one, because MTL was all over him coming into the corner. Ryan's not going to be too chuffed with that. And then Rocco gains another 1.5 seconds on Ryan coming through that final sector. So Ryan losing hand over fist of time here to the man in P2. MTL's backed off from a little bit here. Is he maybe conscious of the fact that Ryan is the race leader? Whatever the case, whatever the reason, Ryan Ruby, he's losing a lot of time to Rocco here. Jay Palotto's got the gap down to Orange Rally, now only 1.6 seconds separating those two. Luck Morato looks pretty safe in that final podium spot. Cheese Monkey running in P13 was in the battle for the podiums early on. Obviously had that moment coming through Ascari, which dropped him back. But the big news here is that Rocco is gaining a lot over Ryan at the moment, and Rocco's just put a lap there on a couple of the drivers behind him. PS Fids there currently in a bit of a battle here, and yeah, this is not going well at all for Ryan. He seems he's got the lead, but the gap's now down to 6 seconds. What is happening here? Ryan seems to have no pace at the moment. What is going on? Very, very peculiar at this point. Rocco is gaining so much on him. He's gained about nearly 3 seconds on this lap alone. Are we going to see a limping Ryan coming around in a moment? Ryan struggling to clear MTL Bloodshot. Oh, he almost loses it out of the parabolica there. He was literally just hanging on by a thread. Oh no, has he got damage, or is he just in a rut? Is he in one of those mindsets where everything is falling apart for him? He needs to regroup and get himself together. He needs to get through this, because he currently seems to just be losing a bit of confidence. Or has he got damage? I think, you know what, that looks like he might have suspension damage. I've had this before at Monza, running over those speed bumps. If you tag those speed bumps at high, especially if you're going at speed, if you violently tag one of those speed bumps, you get major suspension damage, and it really slows the car down a lot. And I'm wondering if Ryan maybe has picked up some suspension damage because he seems to be struggling with a bit of understeer. It's on turning, it's in the braking zone as he's turning into the corner. The car just seems to be overshooting the corner a little bit, and I've seen this before because I've had it before racing at Monza on ACC. I've had it so many times, and I think that it's only a matter of when Rocco is going to take this lead off of Ryan Ruby. He's gaining so much on him. Ryan is really labouring at the moment, and yeah, Rocco now in striking distance here. This is for the lead. Slightly painful to watch this one because Ryan was holding his own in the early stages and was having a really good battle with Rocco in the first part of this race, but I fear that this lead might be about to go for him here. Rocco's going to be in that slipstream, and it's going to be a routine pass here, I'm sure. If he doesn't make it happen here into the Parabolica, it's going to surely happen down the pit straight. Here he comes, Rocco now looking around the outside here. Surely he's going to make this move into P1. He does make the move into P1. Goes a little bit wide on the exit though. That's going to give Ryan just a moment to regain the lead, but I fear it's going to just be delaying the inevitable here as now Ryan weaving around trying to defend his position. Rocco has got that closing speed. He's going to be making this move surely down the pit straight here. Rocco now is going to pull out to the left hand side of your screen and down the outside in towards the turn 1 braking zone. Rocco here is going to try and hold it around the outside. He'll have the inside for the second part of the chicane. Ryan goes deep into the corner though, and he goes over the speed bumps, and that's only going to give him more suspension damage, and Rocco is going to swoop round into the lead here of the race for the opening round of the GT3s here at Motive on the PlayStation 4 and ACC. What a shame for Ryan, but Rocco now leads the race, and last season's runner-up in the championship has got P1 and can now try and control this with Ryan driving what looks to be quite a wounded car at this point. Rocco takes P1 in the race. Not the way we wanted to see this one decided, obviously, with these two having a great battle earlier on in the race, but that is now Rocco up into the lead. Ryan seems to be struggling. He's got a 12-second gap to Marato. Can he hold on to P2 in the final 20 minutes of this race? We're going to have probably 12 more laps in the race. If my calculation, if my maths is spot on here, it's going to be 11 or 12 laps left in this race. So a bit of time for Ryan to hold on to this P2. How's this going to pan out? We'll have to see. Jay Palotto, in the meantime, has got himself into 4th place. In fact, yes, he has, yeah. He's got himself into 4th. These two have just been unlapped there by Cheese Monkey in the foreground, just coming through your shot. But Jay Palotto into 4th place ahead of Orange Rally. Nilsson not too far off. Could be sensing a P4 in this race. He's not too far away for sure. Just want to say, guys, big thank you to everybody currently still with us at the moment. If you are enjoying what you're watching, please do drop a like on the video, guys. Let's get this stream to 10 likes if we can. That'd be absolutely awesome. But Nilsson here, not too far away from Orange Rally, could be on for a top 5 pretty surely, maybe. But the news over the last couple of laps is that Ryan Ruby now in P2. Rocco leads the race, having made the move there. Ryan picked up some suspension damage by the looks of it, which is costing him about 2 to 3 seconds a lap. And I think it's only a matter of time until Marato gets him as well, to be honest with you. Ryan really does seem to be struggling at this point with that damage. Luck there just coming through the first chicane, but Rocco's been handed, I think, an easy last part of the race here down to Ryan's damage. It would have been an interesting battle if that hadn't happened, because we think that Ryan didn't change tyres, so Rocco would have obviously had more grip than him, but with the damage that Ryan's got, it's cost him dearly in this race. Jay Palotto's not gapped Orange Rally by too much. Orange Rally's still there, but I'd say maybe just over a second there between the two of them, to be honest with you. PS Fids, Staloba and BG Moses all in the pits. It doesn't look like they're moving, actually. PS Fids has been sat in the pits for a little while, as has SMT, as has BG Moses, so it doesn't look like they're continuing on with the race. So maybe they're fixing damage, whatever the case. They are not going to be partaking much more, and they're not going to get many more points in this one. But Rocco has opened up a 7-second gap over Ryan over these last few laps, and Marato's now got the gap down to under 6 seconds to Ryan. So Marato could be in for a P2 here. Currently, the top two in last season's championship are both in the podium spots, but it's Rocco, last season's runner-up, who has the lead, and last season's champion in 3rd place, but can see that driver in P2, Ryan Ruby, now very much in his sights. back marker currently separates them, but Ryan Ruby hanging by a thread here in this second spot. He should be able to hold on for the podium spots. He's got about 30 seconds back to Jay Pilotto in 4th, so he should be alright to keep on to a 3rd place in this race, but I think it's only a matter of time until Morato picks him off for 2nd. PS Vids and BG Moses they're both back out on track again. In fact, no, because SMT Zalova's left the session, so he's now done for the race. BG Moses back out on track, as is PS Vids, good to see, but SMT Zalova has retired from the race. Quite a way out of this one, still 17 minutes left in this race. And Ryan said he put no pressure on his tyre swap, so his tyres were not up to the correct PSIs when he came in and got those put on, so they've been out of sync for this entire stint, and that explains why he's struggling so much at this point. I assumed it was suspension damage, but it seems like it's tyres. That's the problem at the moment for Ryan Ruby, and he's only 4 seconds now ahead of Morato. Gap 28 seconds to Jay Pilotto. He should be alright for the podium spot, but he's going to be holding on grimly, I'll tell you that. Orange Rally in the background of this, the second half behind Jay Pilotto at the moment, and Nilsson still keeping a gap around the same to these two. Not really gaining on them, but he's not falling off of them too much either. Ryan says he's on 23 PSI. That's not where you want to be, especially around a track like this. You want to be on about 28 PSI around a track like Monza, being it's heavy on the straight line speed. He's going to be getting absolutely no pace down those straights, and a gap now under 3 seconds between Ryan and Morato, as they've still got a back marker in between them, and this back marker here is going to be looking to unlap himself on Ryan. That's Recco Vantage there in between them. Recco's got luck on the back of him, but he's also going to be trying to get himself into clean air ahead of Ryan, who's for the time being is sat in P2 in this race, but that will be going very shortly. As into turn 1 they come for the 24th time here in this race. Jay Pilotto continuing to gap Orange Rally. They got now over 2 seconds between those two. Nilsson gained a little bit on Orange Rally over the course of that lap, gained about half a second on him. Morato now sizing up Ryan Ruby. Here we go. Ryan with his tyre pressures not where they want to be. He's been texting while driving over the last lap as Ryan, naughty boy, but he's going to have to really get his elbows out here. Morato's going to find this, I think, pretty easy to get this move done. He's going to just need a good exit here out of Lesmo 2, and he'll be able to breeze past him on the up towards Ascari. Here we go. Ferrari will be picking up a toe, coming down towards the corner. No, still just a little bit too far back to make this happen here, but he needs just a good exit out of Ascari. Ryan will be really struggling for traction out of here. If luck doesn't get him here, he'll get him down the main straight, that's for sure. So here we go. Is Ryan even going to defend this one? Probably not the wisest decision to defend, because Jay Pilotto only 20 seconds off for the back of these guys, so he knows, Ryan will surely know that Jay Pilotto might have a better chance of catching them if he spends too much time putting up a fight here with Morato, but he's still fighting this one. But here we go, Morato now is going to pull out of the slipstream side by side down the start finish straight. Here we come. And Ryan, to be fair, his straight line speed's not too bad, you know, but his traction is nowhere. And here we go, Morato now down the inside, makes that move a little bit later on the brakes. He's got much more confidence in that Ferrari than Ryan has in this Merc. And Morato up into second place. Ryan though still in the podium spots, crucially for him. But you've got to feel for Ryan, because you know, on the cusp of taking his first win, he's going to have to wait a little bit longer to break his duck and stand on the top step for the first time here. But it is a case of when for Ryan. It's certainly not an if, it's a when. He's going to take that first win. He's got bags of talent and potential, and what a shame there. You've got to feel for him, you really have. But Rocco out the front, 16 seconds is gap to luck. It's going to be, I think, a cruise home to the flag here for Rocco. Jay Pilotto's gapped Orange Rally by 4 seconds, and Nilsson's really gained on Orange Rally actually. over the last couple of laps. The gap now under 3 seconds between Orange Rally and Nilsson, so Nilsson could be sensing a top 5 spot here if he continues driving the way he is. Oh, he's very loose there, out of not left mode 2, sorry, Roger chicane was Orange Rally there, and Nilsson continuing to bring that gap down by quite a bit. BG Moses there was just letting both Orange Rally and Nilsson put a lap on him there. BG Moses down in P14, but sticking with it. He didn't pit during the pit window actually, so that could be a problem there. You've got to pit between minute 25 and 35. Obviously he didn't know that for this occasion. He'll know it now. He'll learn his lesson on that one, I'm sure. But I think he might get a DQ for that one. Obviously unfortunate there, but yeah, he'll learn for next time, I'm sure. In the meantime, Rocco's got an 18-second gap at the moment over Luck Morato. There's Gap Ryan. He's got that now over he's got a couple of seconds back to Ryan at this point. Obviously Ryan nursing some tyres which are probably still not at the right tyre pressure. JR in the comments saying, come on Ryan. JR, I've got to fill you in on the latest news in terms of what's happening with Ryan. He was in the lead of the race. He had the race win at his mercy, but he unfortunately put the wrong tyre pressures on for his pit stop, and since the pit stops he's been struggling by quite a bit. He's got, I think, 20 seconds back to Jay Polotto at this point, so he should be okay for P3 as long as he doesn't make any mistakes and keeps consistent. He will hold on to the podium spot, but he'll be gutted with that one. I'm gutted for him watching it because he was having a great battle with Rocco and seemed to be holding his own and more than a match for Rocco. Rocco is obviously the last season's runner-up in the championship. He's currently on track to get one over last season's champion, his rival for last season's title, Luck Morato, running in second place. So Rocco looking to take first blood here in the first race of this season. But Ryan will be really disappointed, I'm sure, that he couldn't convert that race lead, that long time race lead, into the win. But still running in third place nonetheless. JR says, that's racing, it's all experience. I have zero doubt Ryan will be a consistent race winner. I'm exactly the same, JR. I know for a fact it is only a matter of when. I've said before, there's no doubt that Ryan's going to end up picking up wins at some point here at Motive, and indeed any sim racing league that he races in. But you know, for these purposes, for where we are right now, he's going to be a race winner at Motive. I know that for sure. And it's a case of just getting that first one off your back. Once you get that first one, they'll come in thick and fast. That his confidence will grow and he'll just get better and better and go from strength to strength. But right now he's battling it out with one of the Porsches. This is obviously Reco Vantage a lap down, but Reco Vantage running on tyre pressures that, as far as we know anyway, are a lot more appropriate for the conditions and for the situation. Ryan, as we said before, running on tyre pressures which are certainly not ideal. 23 psi the last we heard. I don't know if they've gone up to a slightly more appropriate level since. He seems to maybe picking up a bit of pace, but yeah, for sure he'll feel like this one slips away from him, will Ryan Ruby, and yeah, he'll be kicking himself, but ultimately he's just got to learn from this one and come back stronger and fighting better than ever for next time. But it certainly bodes well for his season, and it shows he's got the potential, he's got the talent and the pace, and it seems to be a contender in this GT3 championship. And P3 will beat some good points. He certainly won't be out of this title fight, that is for sure. He's right there at the sharp end. He's got enough of a gap back to Jay Polotto now that I think he's more than safe in that podium spot. Jay Polotto continuing to gap Orange Rally for fourth place. You've got Nilsson only 3 seconds behind, but Orange Rally's just taken a couple of tenths back over the last couple of laps. So Orange Rally looking like he's now a little bit more safe in that fifth place. Nilsson gained a couple of tenths coming through that middle sector, though the gap now just under 3 seconds again. So that's just yo-yoing a little bit. As JR says, he's a class act out of the car too. Talent, pace and the team, he says. Those three things, big priorities for Ryan and all the guys that run DJC. Prevalent, Motive, are very, very well. They're always very vocal in the streams and supportive of us on the channel, and we appreciate every single one of them. One of our, well, basically our co-head admin. There's no actually official title for this, but Freeman and I, technically the ones who run the Discord, and Freeman, a member of Run DJC. JR used to commentate for us back in the day, was a coordinator with us as well, and one of our admins for a short time before his family life had to take priority. But Run DJC have a big history at Motive, have a solid pedigree here. They've been here for the long haul, and yeah, great to have them as always. Rocco's gap now 20 seconds out the front, so he's continuing to bring that gap up as this one continues on. Murato, I think, settled for second place now, knows that that's where he's going to end up. Ryan Ruby 10 seconds behind in the podium spot, so he's doing a good job here, and I'm sure that as it stands, if he continues doing what he's doing, he'll be very easily able to hold on to that P3, and it's going to be excellent stuff there for Ryan. But he'll feel like it slipped away from him, as I said. He'll be kicking himself that he's not on a top step, but this will be a learning experience. It will certainly be something to gain from in the future. Orange Rally's gap to Nilsson currently just under 3 seconds at the moment. That gap's staying at around the same. Nilsson's not gaining enough. He's gaining little bits at a time on Orange Rally, but he's not gaining enough to be able to take this 5th place. Having said that, he seems to have gained a little bit more coming through this middle sector. Keep an eye on the split times as come over the line. Orange Rally comes over the line, Nilsson follows. It looks like it's a bit less here, 2.2 the gap, so Nilsson gained half a second through that final sector. Must have got a good run coming out of Ascari, or something went right for him, because yeah, he's really gained quite a bit there coming through that part of the track. So this might not be over in this battle for 5th place. This could still be race on here for these guys. Cheese in the GT3, someone take a picture, says JL. You know what? He's driving in the GT3s more and more now. He's racing in the GT3 class on a Wednesday night for the multi-class. He'll be racing in the GT3s as a sporadic reserve for this season. You know, Cheese Monkey is now actually more of a GT3 driver than he's a GT4 driver. Obviously, 2-time champion of the GT4 class here in Motive, but he's very much making that transition to the GT3s. I hope you and Nana had a nice weekend. Big love, JR. Thank you very much, mate. And hopefully you and Lorna and Isabella also had a nice weekend, and you're doing well and are happy and healthy and enjoying life. I think Nana's okay. She's downstairs at the moment watching some god-awful TV program probably, but nonetheless she's doing well. But Orange Rally currently 2.5 seconds is his gap at the moment over Nilsson. That's battle for 5th place at this point. But Rocco looking very much in control of this race here. 20 seconds is his gap, and the runner-up from last season's championship, certainly starting his championship this season in the best possible way, responding to what would have been disappointment last season, well, with losing out to Murato in the final race. But Rocco certainly had the pace over his last season's championship rival. Maybe wouldn't have got Ryan. Who knows what would have happened if Ryan hadn't ended up with the wrong tyre pressures out of the pits. And obviously you got MTL Bloodshot and Awesome Gumball. Those two would have been up there if it hadn't been for their early collision. Awesome Gumball picking up the damage on the front end, MTL Bloodshot getting spun round and dropping down to the back of the pack on that first lap. What could have been for those two had that not come about? Guys, if you're watching the stream right now, 3.5 minutes left for the PS4s. If you like what you see, please do drop a like on the video. Can we get the video to 15 likes? Can we do it? Can we do it? Let's do it. Come on, guys. Let's get it to 15 likes if we can. That would be awesome. We got the PS5 stream coming up after this as well. We'll be live for that one straight away afterwards. We'll be jumping straight across into that PS5 server. I believe they're just getting going for qualifying as we speak, so we'll be jumping in at the end of the qualifying session for the PS5. And that should be excellent stuff there. MTL Bloodshot onto the back of Edis, battling out over 7th and 8th places in this race. MTL will be wanting a few extra points, qualified in second in the qualifying session and could have maybe won this race if it hadn't been for the collision early on with Awesome Gumball, but MTL down the start finish straight is going to out drag Edis. Edis trying to tuck back into that stream. He's going to try and come back at him here, coming down towards the first chicane. He's going to have a look back to the inside as Edis. But MTL, oh no, Edis loses mission breaking point there, goes deep into the first chicane. MTL though is going to try and get the cut back here. Edis managed to hold on to the position there as a result of cutting the chicane, and MTL's not going to be chuffed with that one. He has every reason to be a little bit upset with that one because Edis definitely took advantage of the track limits to keep onto that position. But MTL trying to come back at Edis here. He's going to look down the inside into the De La Rocha chicane, and Edis are late on the brakes. MTL just taps him in the rear a little bit there, trying to put him off his line. Maybe he's just showing his discontentment with what happened in the first chicane where Edis managed to keep onto position down to cut in the corner. But nonetheless, Edis keeping on to P7 as a result. I suppose fair game. If you haven't run your 3 warnings for track limits, then I suppose you can get away with it, can't you? But if you run those warnings, then you really mustn't do anything any additional pushing the limits, because then you will get in trouble. It's always important to know when the fun stops. You've got to know when you've had the luck. Once you've had the luck green, you've got to stop. You've got to rein it in. You've got to say, look, I've got lucky, but now I need to play by the rules. I need to start doing things the right way, behaving myself, being a good boy. Otherwise, there could be consequences the next time. Nonetheless, though, Rocco coming into the Parabolica for the final time. What a drive it's been from Rocco. Last season's runner-up in the championship is going to get off on the right foot here at the Autodromo di Nazionale Monza. He comes up towards the line to take the first win of the season. Rocco with a superb drive. Had a great battle with Ryan Ruby in the early part of the race. He came out on top in that due to Ryan maybe messing up the strategy a little bit on the tyre pressures, but Rocco absolutely kept on it all the way to the flag and scores an emphatic win here. Luck Morato, last season's champion, is going to take second place in the first race of the season. Not too bad of a start for him. I'm sure he won't be too disappointed with that. But his championship rival from last season manages to get one over him here. Ryan is going to come in towards the Parabolica. Well done to Ryan for sticking with it. Congratulations, mate, on not giving up and not getting too disheartened by what was obviously a crushing blow for you, losing out on what would have been your first win had that not happened. Well done to Ryan. He's going to come over to take the final podium spot. Over the line he comes, and there he is. J Pilotto is just going a bit wide there out of that Parabolica, and Orange Rally might be rallying here at the end of this race. He's going to have a look, but J Pilotto is just going to cling on there for that 4th place ahead of Orange Rally in 5th. Nilsson comes over to take 6th place. Reco Vantage and Carl Mete have both finished the race, as have PS Vids, and BG Motors a few laps down there in 14th place with 130 seconds worth of penalties. So that's obviously not going to make a difference because he's in P14 and last place. But MTL Bloodshot coming out of Ascari here, 7th place it'll be for MTL. Managed to get Edis by the looks of it towards the end of the race. So he'll be happy with a few extra points in the bag there as he comes into the Parabolica. Ryan says finish with double puncture on the right side. That would explain that slide coming through Parabolica there, Ryan. So yeah, well done to you for hanging in there at the end. I knew he hadn't changed tyres. I could tell by the speed of his pit stop he didn't change tyres. That would have been, imagine if he had been leading by 5 seconds and luck had got him at the end based on that puncture. That would have been painful. MTL nonetheless, 7th place for him. Eid is parked up on the gravel, but he's going to get P8 because he's on the lead lap and the rest of them aren't, so he gets lucky there. But Rocco taking the win ahead of Luck Morato in 2nd place. Ryan Ruby 3rd, ahead of Jay Pilato 4th, then Nilsson 5th, MTL Bloodshot in P6, followed by Edis in 7th, Reco Vantage in 8th, ahead of Carl Mete, then Awesome Gumball completing the top 10. Thanks everybody for joining us for the PlayStation 4 GT3 Championship here at Motive on ACC. Make sure you join us next week. We'll be live once again for round 2 of the season. Big thank you to everybody who dropped a like on the video. Please do drop a like if you haven't already, guys. Subscribe if you're new, and we will see you in the next round of the season. Next race for the GT3 on PS4 will be at Misano. Join us same time next week for that. We'll see you in a few minutes for the PS5 stream. Take it easy. See you in a moment.